Today is a bed day or a sofa day. Literally, I haven't left the bed for most of the day, and I even tried filming in bed to make this video, but the lighting was rubbish. So this is the next best thing, which is just near some books and in the living room. I thought I'd do a book vlog because that's all that I'm capable of the day after IVIG. In case you're wondering what intravenous immunoglobulins are, they're a pool of human plasma from which healthy people's antibodies are extracted, and then someone like me who has immunodeficiencies for one reason or another gets given these antibodies because I don't make enough to protect myself against various viruses and infections. So because it's from this pooled resource of, presumably hundreds of thousands of human beings, I react differently every 3 weeks. Some days I'm just a lot more tired, some days I have headache, some days the muscle pain is worse. Today's mostly just serious tiredness. So anyway, let's do books today. So I thought I'd just tell you different books that I've read or I'm in the middle of reading, which by the way is a thing. It's called sundoku, that's the Japanese term for it, which in literal translation is reading pile, which is what most of us have now. Instead of just having the one book which you're reading and you get to the end of and then you have the anticipation of a new fresh book to look forward to, now we just have like piles of books that are on the go, that are beside our beds and so on. I definitely am in the middle of countless things, which I don't think is particularly brilliant, but it's just the way that it is. So, but a book that I have finished is this one. Eleanor, Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman, which at the top, right at the top, it says, the subtitle is the hottest Sunday Times bestseller. So maybe you've already come across it and maybe you've already read it, but it was one of those books that I couldn't put down, and I really looked forward to reading it every night and finishing it so fast. Maybe 2 nights, 3 nights at the most, and it's gripping even though it's about nothing that you can really describe. It's a woman who is on the outskirts of society. She's the person you don't see. She's invisible, or at least visible only when people make fun of her or ostracize her or are cruel to her. But it's her story, it's her narrative, so she has complete control over it. And I think Gail Honeyman, the writer, has done some kind of magic to keep us gripped as though it were a psychological thriller. And it's not, it's about a very lonely person that you become endeared to, even though she's not trying to make herself endearing or trying to make you care about her, but you absolutely do straight away. So I would recommend this book. Read it. I also finished reading, I'm always feeling the need for some Maya Angelou in my life, and I have almost all Dr. Angelou's books. This one time, a young girl asked Dr. Angelou a question from the audience, and she said, Maya, etc., etc. And when it was Maya Angelou's time to respond to this young person who'd asked her the question, Maya said, she said, first of all, I don't think someone as young as you should be calling someone of my age Maya. Dr. Angelou would be the right term. So I always feel that I should be saying Dr. Angelou. But anyway, it's not actually this one, because I can't seem to find where the one that I actually finished is. It's the one that I have just read, or it's probably reread, is Even the Stars Look Lonesome, which is one of her essay collections, and that was just, just perfect reading. At the end of my day, when I I'm trying not to look at the iPad, which is also an addiction I will discuss in another video. But yeah, Maya Angelou, Even the Stars Look Lonesome. Also, I have just begun this by Marian Keyes, The Break, which she's just published. It's her latest, and it's, look at the size of it, but fortunately the font and the text is something that my eyes can manage, so it's just, you know, Marian Keyes, you know, delicious. So what can I say about Marian other than I love her, whatever she writes. So that's something that you can look forward to. Something else that we've been reading, Dad and I, someone I should say, is Michael Mosely. Seriously, reading everything that he's written. Yeah. This one particularly is what got us going, which is about the gut and the microbiome, which I think is where medicine is meeting right now, in nutrition, in autoimmunity, or the world of immunology, mental health, and those three things are combining and making a lot of sense to a lot of the medical world, at least that part of the medical world that is interested in doing something about type 2 diabetes, which is an epidemic, and yeah, all the things that lead up to it or consequent to it. But in my case, obviously, I've waited a really long time to try and understand nutrition in terms of autoimmunity, but also the medication that I'm on. You know, I've never had a clear plate from which to really see whether what I'm doing is making any difference or helping, or what is helping and what isn't. And now that things are somewhat easier for me medicine-wise, I can incorporate different things that I'm learning, which is just the way that I always wanted it to be. Aside from reading on my Kindle and having physical books, I also, because of my glaucoma and cataracts and photophobia, etc., I obviously read a lot on Audible, or listen to a lot of audiobooks. And the book that I've just finished listening to is Hunger by Roxane Gay, a memoir of my body. So it's in keeping with me mentioning Michael Mosely, and I mentioned type 2 diabetes. What I didn't mention, but which is obvious, is what is described as an epidemic of obesity, but really in society there's quite an obsession with the idea that women have to lose weight, and the two are, I suppose medically you would say, disconnected, but you know, when you're inside a body or the body that is viewed by society in countless negative ways, I think it's really important to be able to read a voice like Roxane Gay's, which is the truth and the reality of the experience of living inside the body that society has decided must not exist. So the book itself would have been a poignant and beautiful read, but listening to Roxane Gay read herself, well, you can listen to a bit.
I hate how hard it is to accept my human frailties. I hate that I am letting down so many women when I cannot embrace my body at any size. But I also like myself, my personality, my weirdness, my sense of humor, my wild and deep romantic streak, how I love, how I write, my kindness, and my mean streak. It is only now in my 40s that I am able to admit that I like myself, even though I am nagged by the suspicion that I shouldn't.
I should really call her Dr. Gay the same way I was referring to Dr. Angelou, because, you know, she is. But I think she is an incredibly important voice in literature, in essays, in the world of being a woman today. So I would recommend Roxane Gay, Hunger, as well. The last book that I want to mention is something that I've just bought, and so haven't begun yet, apart from just the first couple of pages, is this book. Hold on, no, I don't think, can you see? It's Presenting the Fabulous O'Learys by Caron Freeborn. Caron was one of my lecturers at Anglia when I did my masters. She taught the short story module, and she made such an impression on me. She makes an impression on everyone, every single student. But I remember, in a distinct way that you don't always remember the teacher, the first day that you meet a teacher that's going to make an impact on your life and on your work. But she's the kind of person who makes everyone alive, and we had so much constructive criticism in our class because we were all, we knew we were all being seen by her, and we sort of wanted to extend that same courtesy to everyone else in the class, and she makes everyone a better writer. So obviously she herself is a brilliant writer. Look at the beautiful artwork as well. It's amazing. You rarely get covers that have such beautiful things going on, and look, because it's an iPad, you can actually go in deeply and look at the picture. So yeah, Presenting the Fabulous O'Learys, Caron Freeborn. Yeah, those are my books for October, sort of running into the beginning of November, and then I'll probably do another one closer to the end of November. So yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Bye.